Good afternoon, and welcome to Nail School with Greg Salo. I'm going to do a French Ombre. I want to be able to show you guys how you're going to be able to execute that design the easiest way. So what we're going to end up doing is beginning by pushing the cuticles back. When I'm prepping the nails, for those of you guys that were in class yesterday, remember the pressure you want to be working on, it has to be gentle, right? So if I'm tickling the underside of my wrist, that is the pressure you're going to be using to remove shine from the surface of the nail. So I want to be able to feather around the perimeter of the nail, and then I want to be able to use a gentle tickling motion. You can see I'm using a feathering motion from corner to corner. I want to be able to remove shine thoroughly from the surface of the natural nail. This is going to give me the opportunity to create the perfect texture for any acrylic, right, to bond well to. Okay, so once you're done doing that, what we're going to do is use swipe. We're going to come in, we're going to clean the surface of the natural nail. This is going to remove all the oils and contaminants, dust from the surface, and then what we're going to do is use protein bond, the ultimate non-acid bonder. You're going to apply 2 coats from cuticle to free edge. Okay, so again, you're going to go through all 10 nails. Once you're done doing that, you're going to come back and you're going to add a second coat. All right, so when we're doing a baby boomer nail or a French ombre, we're going to go through the whole process of actually building out the free edge first. Okay, so we're going to take our form and we want to be able to create a seamless fade, right? So you're going to create a handle, right, by just pinching here. You're going to open this up. These are the arms, right? So you can either apply it by holding the handle, as you can see. You can come in, you can hold the handle and then rock it up until it's flat. You just need to make sure that you're securing it to the very, very front of the free edge, or you could hold the arms and then use your other hand just to lift up, right, so that it's nice and flush to the surface. Okay, so we're going to start off by using core white. This white is not going to be super intense. It's what we call a soft white powder, okay? Now, remember, when we are building free edges, we want a consistency that's not going to get away from us. We want something that's not going to run. So we want to be able to do is we want to be able to submerge our brush. I want to be able, again, to tap on one side. I don't want to swivel or pat back and forth. I want to submerge my brush. I want to tap. And then again, I need to pull down at a 45-degree angle and then bounce inside the powder so that I'm able to pick up a nice fluffy bead on one side of the brush. I'm going to remove the excess by tapping it down onto the towel, right? So that's going to release really, really easy. Let me show you again. I'm going to submerge my brush. I'm going to tap dead center. I'm going to pull down, then bounce, giving me a nice fluffy bead on one side of the brush. I'm going to release the excess liquid on the back side. You're going to notice that when I actually set this to the form, right, boom, it's not going to run, right? So what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to walk it from the surface, right, from the top. As you can see that I'm walking it from the top to get it even with the growth channel, right? And then the same thing on the opposite side, get it even with the growth channel, walk it from the top. Even with the growth channel, walk it from the top. And what we want to be able to do is try to build out as even of a free edge as possible. So we're going to go with, say, a really, really nice almond shape. And what I'm doing is I'm tapering the edges down, right? And then what I can do at the very, very end is I could kind of round off the very, very front of the nail. We want to try to build out the shape that we're going to work on. I can pull and stretch the product to the desired length and then use the side of the brush to just kind of round off that front end and try to get that dead center on the form. And again, trying to keep the structure as even as I can from side to side. Once we are done doing this, then what we're going to do is I need to make sure that we're going to take enough white, right? I'm gonna literally get it on one side of the brush, and then literally from dead center, I want to brush this on, a little bit of glitter on my dish. I'm going to brush this on almost from the center of the nail onto the free edge, okay, kind of creating a nice full well tip. I'm going to get a little bit more, and then right here in the back, once I get this down across the center of the nail, I'm going to lightly kind of push this back. I don't want like a really intense line. I almost want it to look like it's fading into the body. And you can see from the side profile how thin that is. All right, so once this is actually built out, you can see that we have a really nice extension, right? Thin tip that we've built out. What we're going to do is we're going to move directly to the pink of choice. I'm going to use cover pink. We're going to submerge my brush. I'm going to tap. Again, I'm going to pull down. I'm going to bounce, bounce, bounce. Get a nice fluffy bead on one side of my brush. I'm going to count out to about 4 seconds. And then I'm going to set this down with a little bit of space at the cuticle area. So it's going to allow me to walk behind the perimeter of the nail, getting it super flush and tight. As the bead starts working down towards the stress area, notice what I'm going to do. From the corner, I'm going to start feathering it towards, right, the white. Boom. And you can see that most of the thickness that I'm actually feathering out is going to mask, right, that white that I faded up into the nail, right? That's why I built that white super thin. Now, what we can do to make it look like a seamless fade is take just a little bit of white, and then right in between the white and the pink, what I'm going to do is just like literally kind of fade this back to make it look like, right, we're getting a absolute flawless blend between the pink and the white. Okay, and then what we're going to do to encase it, because you can see from the side profile, I have my upper arch built out. The white is still quite thin. You could either cap it with clear, or you could choose to use, I love to use natural. Natural is a great color to be able to do this. And then what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to bounce inside the powder, and then in between the pink and the white, right here, I'm going to feather this up. And then again, wipe my brush to remove excess. And then notice that I'm actually walking the product over the surface. And then what I can end up doing is lightly feathering it from the front. And then once it's actually faded, what I've been able to do is not only kind of cover that missing space, I'm actually able to fade in, right, the right amount of acrylic, as you can see from the side profile, to fill in that space, creating a perfect upper arch. But you can see how the pink and the white absolutely fade into each other with absolute perfection. I don't see like a heartbeat line. A lot of people, what they end up doing is they build the white way too thick, right, onto the surface of the natural nail. If you were, again, let's say you started, right, and I just want to give you an example, but if you were to take the white and let's just say that you had this massive ledge, like right here, right? This is the problem. Let's say you just put the white on, right, again, and you built it all the way out from the side. I want to show you the problem. If you don't basically feather this area super, super thin, what will end up happening if you take pink, right? Like if I dropped pink and then I tried to pull this through, I just want to show you guys something, right? Right, so it looks like it's feathered, right? It looks like it's blended. The problem is when you're actually filing this into shape, if the white is too high, you'll end up filing through and seeing a line, right? This like a line of demarcation, basically. And you don't want that to happen, right? So in order to prevent that, what we do is we try to keep the white as thin as we possibly can. And what that will do is it'll allow you to build the pink up high enough where the upper arch is going to actually mask that thin area. And then again, you could use transparent product like a clear or a natural to basically mask the white and actually create the flawless seam between this. It works wonderful with lighter pastel colors as well. Again, this is a technique I've used for a very, very long time. You're going to notice you're going to actually get a real nice velvet feel. Now, since the free edge is actually starting to cure, right, I still have a little bit of flexibility inside the tip. So if I needed to come in and again, and kind of pinch the very, very front of the nail, I'll be able to put a really, really tight C-curve in, right, to get this dialed in. Okay, so before we actually get into filing, I want to be able to show you what we're going to be working on. Let me grab a pen really fast. Or hey, do you have a pen right there? A pen? Okay, so watch this, you guys. All right, thank you, my friend. Okay, so what we want to be able to do is, like, if I was looking at my nails right from the side, I want to make sure that the extension, right, is coming off the growth channel straight. I don't want it hanging down to the side. And I also don't want to, a big mistake that a lot of beginners make is when they actually build out their nails, they end up actually taking the hand file and just pulling into the center. And what that ends up doing is you end up building a notch right here at the side of your nail. So for those of you guys that are actually learning the profession, you're learning how to shape properly, you don't want to just take your hand file and just start hacking into the side, right? So this is actually dry. You can hear that nice clicking sound. Notice that I'm also leaving my brush inside my dish. This is going to remove any acrylic that builds up on your brush and prevent it from freezing and turning into obviously a statue on the end of your brush. Okay, so what we want to be able to do is I need to file my sides. Notice that I'm keeping, you can only see the blue side of the file. I need to make sure that I'm creating as flat, right, of a side as I possibly can. I need to keep contact all the way through. So I'm working from corner to center, and then I can round off the very, very front. Okay, now from the side, if you turn the customer's hand to the side, I'm going to line this up at the lowest point. You can see that. And then as I file up, what I'll be able to do is get it to a point, boom, where the extension is going to be dead straight coming off the end of the growth channel all the way to the front of the nail. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. I'm going to turn the finger to the side. Don't do it from the top and just start hacking in. Turn the customer's hand to the side. Line it up parallel to the finger at the lowest point. And then as you file up, what will eventually happen is you will make contact with the very end of that growth channel and you will build flawless extensions that come all the way out. This is how you're going to create absolutely perfect works of art. All right, so once we're done shaping that, we're going to rotate the sanding band off of the hand piece. We are going to place our safety bit inside the collet. We're going to lock it up so the arrows are facing each other. I'm going to turn my electric file to about 12,000 RPMs. Since I'm right-handed, I'm working again in forward. And notice, again, I'm using my electric file. I'm not using a drill. I'm using an electric file. If you want to drill, you could go to Home Depot. You could buy yourself a block of wood and a bucket of screws, and you can practice drilling all day long. We don't drill. We use an electric file. First of all, not to be faster, we use it to refine bulk from the surface of the enhancement so it sets us up to file the least amount, right? If I hand filed every service I did, my wrists, my arms, and my shoulder will be gone within a few years. And I don't want to end up, right, doing this part-time. This is a full-time career for me. I want to be able to teach you guys how to do the same exact thing. So as you can see, I'm positioning my finger here with an overgrip position. I'm not holding it like this, and I'm not going side to side. We don't want to make this uncomfortable for our client. What we need to be able to do is reduce bulk fast. So I'm looking at the side, and I'm filing the upper arch all the way through down to this point in one direction. As you can see, I'm able to build that out. I'm I'm looking down the barrel of the nail. I want to be able to file my C curve in one direction towards myself. And again, I'm not holding it in one place going, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm moving, right? So that it doesn't produce any sort of thermal reaction. Now, when I'm going around the cuticle area, again, I'm not going side to side. I am right-handed, so I need to work that bulk around the cuticle area down, and I'm going to be able to reduce that again without creating any discomfort. Once I'm done filing that, I'm going to be able to come through and work through the body, reducing all the bulk just like that. It's not, again, rocket science. All it is good technique that's going to eliminate you from basically slipping, right? The worst thing is when you're holding it like this and you're like, oh, I'm learning how to do this, and you end up slipping around and spinning and losing control. You don't want to be able to do that. All right, so what we're going to do, just make sure this is tight, I'm going to use my hand file and I'm going to divide this into two sections. I'm going to make sure that I'm able to blend. Look at how long it takes for me to blend the cuticle area. Done. Like literally, that's going to be nice and tight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand file and I'm literally going to file down in one direction. So I need to make sure you can see that I'm actually really focusing on trying to get this side. But notice that the pink and the white, like I don't get any shadows. Everything is blending in nice and well. From the opposite side, I hold my handpiece just like this. And what I'm able to do is attack it going into the nail down. So there is actual technique when you're actually filing the right side. You don't want to just go down. You want to go into the nail so that you're actually able to work both sides. And then what I'm going to do, again, I like to just really take my time, getting my sides absolutely perfect. And then last but not least, let me bring this up, okay? I like to take a look at client profile. This is where we're going to be able to look down the barrel of the nail. We're going to be able to refine this into absolute perfection. I make a peace sign. I rest the handpiece. I rest the file in between my knuckles. I put my thumb here, and then I rest it onto the surface while I'm actually looking down this profile so that I'm actually able to get the C curve absolutely perfect. All right, so this is going to blend this into perfection. You're going to notice when you're done that if there are any small imperfections, you're going to be able to get in there and detail them with ease. But you can see, right, once this is done, that I'm actually able, right, to build out a really beautiful, basically pink and white ombre that has great upper arch, has really, really straight lower arch that extends from this point to this point, setting this up so the client is going to be very, very happy. All right, cool. If you guys have any questions, let us know. We're always here to help. For those of you guys that need information in upcoming classes, make sure to get a hold of Ray Bracamontes. You can give him a call at 1-800-777-9170. You can get more information, www.youngnails.com. Just remember, you guys, when you guys are on here and you're watching, just make sure to smash the like video with the like button. This is going to really just get the message out to everybody that the education is what's going to help you guys, again, achieve success when it comes to learning how to do nails. Appreciate you guys again tuning in. I'll see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Peace.
Subscribe the channel now. Subscribe the channel now. Subscribe to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel.